Hi everyone, welcome to I'm a Recruiter Community Podcast. Today we have another very special guest. Her name is Swarupa. Uh, Swarupa is very much active in LinkedIn and in multiple different communities as well. Right? She try to contribute to TA communities through her expertise, her comments, what she think about, right? So she have also contribute to multiple different LinkedIn article, and if you see, she have got lots and lots of badges as well. So really proud to have you here, Swarupa. So welcome to I Am Recruiter podcast, and yeah. So why don't you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prafulla, for the wonderful intro part of it. And first of all, I really want to thank you to bring this platform, bring this community live so that uh, from TA and recruitment expertise, we all can come together, we can learn from each other, we can contribute in whatsoever ways. So you are definitely doing a great job, Prafulla, and really all the best for you to grow, and let's grow this community in a much bigger way, right?
Sure. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Swarupa.
Yeah, so to start with, like I come with 11 plus years of experience completely into tech product recruitment part of it. And I'm like completely a mix of things to say, Prafulla. So I was born in Odisha. I
Okay.
did my I did my schoolings and I was brought up in Tamil Nadu,
Okay.
basically. I did my engineering in B triple E part of it, and
Okay.
that is a amazing place where I did. It is like a place where Veerapan was there, if you know. Yeah, so it is just like um, center of forest. So,
Okay. Okay.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, it was really good to see that area, and you can definitely go and visit sometime.
Yes.
Satyamangalam
Which
is
which
the
part? Which part? What is the name you have mentioned?
Satyamangalam. It's
Okay.
Veerapan's place.
Okay.
Yeah. So while I was completing my engineering itself, I was trying to understand that okay, this is not my part of job. Like I can sit and code and be stick to laptop and all those things. So this is not my job. So I didn't even participate in the placements. I just came out of it, and I told my parents like I really want to do something else, but not engineering part of it. So somehow I did some research and I figured out like okay, there is a specialization called human resources in MBA, and I wanted to pursue that. So somehow I got an admission in Bangalore. So that is how I got introduced to Bangalore. Like I came for my higher studies. So I
Okay.
joined MBA in human resources. Then I used to be like always do my research from the beginning itself, like what it is. I used to be very curious, like to know what I'm doing or what are all the things which is happening around. So even for human resources also I did the same thing, like okay, what exactly is human resources, how does it help in the organization part of it, and how can I relate my skills towards it. Then I slowly came to know about recruitment part of it. And to start with, like when I started my career, I joined a company in my second year of MBA itself. I was like,
Okay.
okay, fine. Yeah, because college used to be there till 2 o'clock, and after that, like, okay, what we need to do after that? So let's go and join somewhere. Let's see, like, what kind of experience am I gaining, and just try to explore a couple of things. So I joined a renowned furniture showroom at that point of time, to start with, and it was a HR generalist role where I was doing payroll, doing this grievance part of it, putting up policies and all those. Then I again thought like, okay, this is also not my part of job. Like, it is like sitting with so many papers and just do a lot of work, and mainly the payrolling, I tell you, during the crediting of salary, my god, that like
Yeah,
that job
yeah.
is, that 5 days job is like too tedious. I don't know, this is not the one which I was looking for. Then somehow, while I was there in that job itself, I started checking like, okay, how can I get into recruitment? Then
Okay,
someone within my friend circle introduced me like, okay, I have joined an executive search firm, so why don't you come and give interview and let's see how it goes. So that's how I started my career in executive recruitment firm, and I was there for 6 years, and
okay,
that's how I started growing in my journey to say, Prafulla.
okay, okay, okay. Great, great, great.
Yeah,
So I can definitely relate some of the things because till my 10th, I was in my hometown. After 10th, I went to some other small town near my town only. So post that, I even I did my engineering in from Dehradun. Again, it was a place called Mandwala, which is full of
okay.
jungle at that time. So
Yeah.
uh, again when I did my engineering, even I felt the same thing कि यार ये मेरी बस की बात नहीं है, कोडिंग वगैरह
True.
सब मेरे दिमाग के ऊपर से जाता था. सो बहुत
Right.
सारे लोग बैठ के कोडिंग करते रहते, मुझे थोड़ा बहुत तो एच टी एम एल सी एस एस फ्रंट एंड थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा लगता था, बट
Right.
प्रोग्रामिंग बाकी लैंग्वेजेस का तो मुझे बिल्कुल चमकता ही नहीं था, मतलब सो
I'll tell you one more instance like why I didn't like this. So in electrical engineering, right, we used to have practical classes. तब
यस
ये practical वाइवा सब जब होता था, we need to connect the motors and circuits with
यस
lot of
यस
wires and
यस
all. And my god, in my final practical, it was a blast. Actually, it blasted. I did. कहाँ का वायर कहाँ कनेक्ट कर दिया. It was a dhamaka. That day I
अच्छा
decided.
हुआ ना कि हम लोग इंजीनियर नहीं बने. अगर बनते
Right.
तो खराब बेकार से इंजीनियर बनते. तो एटलीस्ट वी आर
Exactly.
डूइंग व्हाट वी लव एंड वी आर ग्रोइंग एज वेल, राइट?
Right.
ग्रेट. सो आप बेसिकली उड़ीसा से हो, आप डन इंजीनियरिंग वहाँ से किए, सो देन यू लैंडेड अप इन बैंगलोर. सो हर
Yeah.
रीजन का अलग अलग आप mix cultural wise, like you have seen different
Yeah.
culture, you have spoken or connected with different people as well, right? So
Right.
when we talk about culture, when we talk about different things, different languages, diversities come into picture, right? So
Right.
again, like when we talk about like recruiting, when we talk about company hiring, again we talk about diversity. So
Right.
जो कल्चर में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि एग्जैक्टली डाइवर्सिटी क्या है एंड व्हाट
Right.
एग्जैक्टली वी आर डूइंग इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी, देयर इज अ ह्यूज गैप, राइट?
Gap.
तो आपको क्या
Correct.
लगता है, मतलब why number one question, why companies are focusing on diversity, and are we only focusing on gender diversity? Is it the real diversity thing, or there are lots more thing in terms of diversity?
Yeah, that's definitely a right question, Prafulla. Because nowadays every company want to invest themselves and grow themselves in DEI prospects, actually to say. But if you see in India, every company is focusing only on gender diversity, as you just mentioned. It is like even when we go and discuss with our business and everything, they will say like, okay, fine, let's keep up the ratio of male and female uh, team members in this way, and this is how we want to. So actually this is not the way we should look into diversity. We really need to look up to like what kind of different set of mindsets and different set of like innovative people are we bringing into the team or to the environment, actually to say. So I'm actually glad to have worked in one of the companies to say where they have looked diversity in a little different way, I can tell you.
Okay,
So where they were like introducing a policy where they can bring the veterans into the
okay,
system to say.
okay,
Yeah, even athletes I can
okay,
say. Yeah, sports people,
okay,
athletes and veterans. So they are bringing these people into the system, and if they really want to where they can showcase like, okay, where they are skilled at and how those skills can match up to the system or into the environment, and they are giving the trainings for them, and that is how they are growing. So in that way, so companies need to have a very different mindset to look into diversity. It is not only on a gender part of it, but also on different skill sets part of
Yes.
it. Even in one of my previous companies, they were looking up to like bringing even disabilities into their team. Even in our TA team itself, like we had a person, like who is coming up, like who can't see, like even 99% he cannot see, but
Okay.
we
Okay.
could able to train him, and he is one of the top sourcer in our team, actually, to say.
Okay.
He is
Okay.
doing pretty great job, Prafulla. So
Okay.
that is how we need to look into diversity in multiple prospects. And as a recruiter, we need to communicate those things to the business, like, hey, why can't we bring it in these kind of policies, these kind of systems? Why can't we train them and groom them and make a diverse team out of it? So it should be a recruiters and the TA job to make business understand, Prafulla.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, totally agree, and great answer, I would say. Uh, Again, like I personally, I love my mom, I love my sister, and in my house we have full of female people. Oh, I always support them. But again, like
Right.
uh, supporting is one thing. Again, like promoting the real diversity is another thing, right? So I
Exactly.
want all my nieces and everyone to grow in their career, right, in good way. So I always try to communicate them, educate them on different things as well, right? What kind of things
Right.
happening in the market and all those things.
True.
Great. So a little bit off the track question, right? So you mentioned about your college, right? So how was your 4 year journey? कैसा रहा? आप लोग क्या क्या करते थे मस्ती?
Yeah, I can say, see, there are a huge difference, like how you see college in north side and how you see college in south part of it. So
Okay,
you can't
okay,
enjoy that much, I can say, to say, really, because it used to be like so tight policies, so tight
okay,
security. Even we can't go out for that say and do some kind of like जो मस्ती हम एक्चुअली करना चाहिए था उस टाइम पे ऐसा कुछ हो नहीं पाया है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah, I have learned a lot to say, because there used to have like multiple symposiums, presentations, where they used to even check upon like students who are really interested, who can write well, who can talk well, who can present themselves well. So definitely I got a lot of opportunity towards that. So I could able to participate in like inter-college competitions and try to put my ideas in front and get like a lot of experience out of it, to say, Prafulla.
okay,
But
okay.
मस्ती कुछ ऐसा कर नहीं पाई.
Okay, कोई नहीं. But on the other hand, you also enjoyed writing and other things, right? So that way you
Yeah,
enjoyed, right? So from
true,
your
true.
college days onwards, you love writing and expressing your thoughts.
Even from the school days, I can say, Prafulla, from the school
Okay,
days itself, like I was the person, even teacher used to write in the board and everything. I used to be the first person who used to write everything out of it, so that I
okay,
can. My mindset was like, okay, I should not miss out any pointers. I should be the first, like that. वो स्कूल वाला वो एक थॉट होता है ना कि मुझे पहले होना है. So slowly it was like, okay, I love to write anything, what I know, what I think about it, what I feel. So everything I want to put it on a paper or in my diary, like that. So
okay,
that's
okay.
how it just came
So
into my
yes,
skills.
when we're talking about schooling little bit, I just wanted to understand कि schooling पे even I thought many times कि मुझे express करना है चीज़ें लिखना है but वो हो नहीं पाता लड़कों का mainly somewhat the other way.
Right.
But after engineering के time के बाद I started writing little bit, I would say, right?
Okay.
So since you have done from schooling onwards, like were there someone in your family who have guided you that you should do this, you should do that, or like how was your like school days and like your when you were a small kid?
Okay. Yeah, so it is like nobody have taught me or anything like that. It is like on the flow wo hota gaya. But yeah, I used to see my dad who used to write a lot, and he used to have a very beautiful artistic handwriting, they used to say, right? So he used to have that. So whenever he used to if you remember, like in our school days, we need to write leave applications and everything,
Yeah.
right? So whenever he used to write and give it to me, like, okay, fine, this is your leave application, go and submit in your school. So that time I used to see, oh wow, this is so nice, I mean, written as a nice paper, it looks nice, like that. So वहां से मुझे यार कि ओके, लेट मी ऑल्सो ट्राई आउट, कि लिखते हैं कुछ तो लिखते हैं, देखते हैं कैसा होता है. So that is how it just started, and it just came out in that way. Yeah,
Okay.
so
So you
it is
were close
through
to
my
your dad,
father.
or you were close to your mom in your small days?
So yeah, I'm more towards my dad, I can tell you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that is a even he used to paint a lot. So
Okay.
after seeing that, okay, he is doing, let me also do. So I do a lot of painting actually. I do have a Facebook page for my paintings as
Oh,
well to see.
wow.
Yeah.
We would
So
love to see sometime. Sure.
sure, sure.
Great.
Yeah.
I think if, like some or the other way, your parenting influences a lot when a kid is,
Yes.
you are raising a kid, right? So
True.
one example is Swarupa. From her dad, she was influenced to write good handwriting and good writing articles and all those things which she used to do now as well. Plus, she also
True.
mentioned about the painting thing. Great. So moving to our next question regarding your life journey. You mentioned about you started with one of the furniture company as an HR journalist, right?
Yeah.
And then moved to an executive firm. What next? Like how long you worked for 6 years, and what made you realize that like recruitment is the thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, right. So, in my early career, to say, so when I joined the executive search firm, so I started knowing, like, okay, fine, this is what recruitment takes. So we really need to connect with the business, connect with the candidates, and we really need to build the relationships. We need to do a lot of research. We need to gather a lot of data. When so that point of time, I can say some 10 years back, and also headhunting was one of the major skill which every recruiter has to. So I still remember we used to get a sheet, actually an Excel sheet, to so that time, that is the talent pipeline building, I can tell, like 10 years back. So
Yes.
that is how, like, I started gaining my experience. Yeah, one thing what I really did is, like, I started approaching the right people so that they can guide me. So I can say, like, I was searching for the right mentor for myself. Feedbacks like, okay, I'm not doing good at these part, I'm not doing the calls in a effective way and all those. So it was like, okay, fine, I'm not doing this, that's fine, but how can I improvise it, who can help me to do it? So I personally go and connect with the people, my seniors. I used to sit with them. I used to ask them to shadow me, or I used to ask them, like, okay, whenever you're doing the calls, let me sit beside you and understand what exactly are you doing. So it is like learning from them, so it is adhering their process within me, so that I can be a better person. So these are all the different things which made me to become a good recruiter at later point of time. And one more good experience what I had is, like, after completing my 3 to 4 years of experience, I started getting into RPO part of it, like where I was getting deployed to multiple companies. So
Okay.
there I got a lot of experience. Okay, fine, how I really need to sit with the business, understand, listen to them, get their pain points, and project my insights to them and make things happening. So that is how it has grown. And later I got an opportunity with to work with different product companies like Intuit, Target, and Equinix, like that. So that is how it has progressed, Prafulla.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Great. So definitely, I think whenever we first of all we need to understand that what we are lagging behind, right? And when
exactly.
we identify that, we have to find the right people who can help us grow, right? But
Correct.
uh, no one else can help you grow if you are not able to
You're not.
identify कि कहाँ पे क्या गलत जा रहा है. First you have to think how things are, why it's not happening, why it's not moving, and you have to work accordingly on that, right? Great. So moving little bit about your product-based journey, right? Which
Yeah.
company you joined and what made you move from a executive firm to a product-based company?
Yeah, so definitely, like as you know, that I came from a background of engineering, so I was always like able to relate with the technology, like what it is coming up, and how does it impact the business, or even to the customers and all those things. Even like I do a lot of research, as I told you. So when the company came, like when I started getting opportunities from companies like Intuit, and also I was like, okay, this is one of the great company to work. Like, who will first of all leave such company, right? So I did a lot of research about it. I could able to relate to that. Okay, they are building their data science team, their data engineering team, platform teams. So they are looking for like certain people who can come and help the business. So it is all like relating to what the other company is looking for. So if we cannot able to relate our skills to what the need is, we cannot definitely able to perform in a better way, Prafula. So that's how I did the transition towards that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So first company was Intuit,
Yeah.
and how long you worked there in Intuit, and where did you move your next journey?
So after, I was there in Intuit for about 2 years. So definitely, it was one of the greatest learnings and experience what I had. Definitely, I got a lot of experience to be like sit with the business, understand everything, understand like how we can strategize the hiring process, bring different best practices. So these are all the different things what I have learned from there. And after Intuit, like I joined Target, to say, where I was completely working on data science team, to say, Prafula.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And how long you work with Target?
So Target, like it was unfortunately, I can say, uh, a shorter instant, to say a one
Okay.
year instant, because of COVID. It was there, and a lot of like hiring freeze. It was happening, and we were like working on multiple projects, to say, but
Yes.
not the actual hiring part of
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there, it was like, okay, so something is not moving that part of time, and it was little tricky time, I can say. Like uncertainties were there for sure.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
but yeah, I definitely learned uh, good things while I was working in Target, like when I was collaborating with business for data science part of it. So I was working for a couple of niche roles, which
Yep.
was definitely challenging.
And I think
Yeah.
your executive search firm research work might have helped in Target as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it helped me everywhere, to say, Prafula. I mean, as a recruiter, we really need to transit ourselves to a talent advisor part of it, where we need to show the data to the business. Otherwise, nothing is going to help.
That's true.
So that
That's
is
true.
how it
That's true.
is. Yeah.
And I think COVID time was very tough for most of the people as well, right?
Right.
And I think when there is any decrease in revenues and profit and all, so the first impact will be our TA folks only, right?
Right.
I think
True.
because of that, we have seen lots and lots of layoffs happening at the time as well, right?
Right.
Lots of
Right.
companies stopped hiring. It was kind of a
Yeah.
freeze everywhere, and there was
Right.
lots and lots of uncertainties. We don't know. We were doing lots of different projects as well.
Right.
Great. I
Oh,
can definitely relate. Like every other companies were on the same path, so I can definitely relate, Swarupa. Great.
right. Right, Prafula.
So, since you have quite a huge amount of experience, Swarupa, so any uh, advice which you wanted to give our aspiring recruiter or sourcer how to become a best version of recruiter or a sourcer?
Right, Prafula, this definitely an interesting question to say. So I'll first of all say that today's early career people, or today's freshers or aspiring people, are really, really blessed, to say, Prafula. So the kind of like opportunities now they are getting, the kind of like platforms now they are having, definitely 10 years back we were nowhere towards that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah,
So for the aspiring recruiters, definitely I would recommend, like, please work on themselves to understand what all their, where their strength lies actually, to say. So definitely they really need to work on that. And as I just told, like, look for the right mentors for yourself, because the initial 3 to 4 years is all about learning how much ever you want to learn first of all, and try to understand where you can become an expertise out of it. So some people in recruitment itself, they want to grow towards as a in sourcing itself, like
yeah,
from sourcing till sourcing manager they can go, from a recruiter they can go till a principal recruiter in some companies. As a ta they can even get into like global ta part of it. So they can specialize in certain things. So for that they really need to understand the skills part of it. And definitely nowadays, Prafula, any recruiter, they have to build their personal brand for sure, no
yeah,
matter what. They need to have their, so nowadays this social platform or LinkedIn or whatever it is like a identity card for us. Like how
yes,
we
yes,
have Aadhaar and voter card. It's like a identity for us, like what are we specialized, how unique we are into that. So definitely we should, I mean, they should have a build their personal brand for themselves. And yes, they always need to have a connect, collaborate, and continuous learning throughout the process. So
yep,
without
yep,
that we cannot grow further, to say. And yes, we really need to upskill ourselves in every point of time. We should uh, have a point, like, okay, every day I'm coming to know about the industry, I learn about like what is happening in the market, and be with it. And yes, please be good at data and insights. Without that we cannot convince business.
that's true. And I think Swarupa have given a very right answer with all. See, she have covered everything, I would say, right? Starting from when we start our career, we should try to do some kind of SWOT analysis to understand about strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. And from there, once we understand about our strength, we can uh, try to find different mentors who can guide us, who can suggest us as well. And she also mentioned about like continuous learning opportunity or continuous upskilling ourselves, right? uh, till now, even I see herself learning some or the other things. Plus, I personally myself, whenever I get time, I read some of the articles, I write some of the articles, or I try to do some of the course as well. And it really helped to gain more and more different perspective as well, right?
Yeah.
So again, you also covered one of the very interesting topic, which is personal branding. But along with that, you also covered like about ta, how ta is like diversifying altogether. Initially ta means people only thought about one role, filling the
Yeah.
job, that's it, right? But now
True.
in ta we have sourcers, we have specialists, we have principal level recruiters as well, like generalist
Yeah.
recruiters. We have all sorts of different people all together. We have our data team as well, right? So
True.
multiple different things are there in ta. So it's not just about filling a role. ta is almost kind of a strategic partner for business, right?
Yes.
So there are lots of different things. Whichever your interest is, we can work accordingly. Perfect.
True.
You also mentioned about personal branding, which is very, very important in today's world. I personally
Yeah.
believe uh, we ourselves are a brand, right?
True.
And how we represent ourselves, how we share our thoughts, how we share our understanding or knowledge is very important, right?
True.
If you see, initially it was just Facebook, Instagram, or other places, but now
Yeah.
even the movie star or Bollywood star, Hollywood star are also actively participating in LinkedIn, right?
Exactly. So true. So that is what, Prafula. So it's all about, like, we need to keep our LinkedIn profile and portfolio all updated, stay connected, support others as well. And I mean, as a recruiter, we know like, okay, what are we hiring for, and which business are we working for. So it is really important to put all those up in the social platform itself, so through that we can get like a lot of potential talent. So it is all about like we really need to be a great storyteller as well. And we can definitely grow towards that, Prafulla, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
It's like we need to make visible ourselves. Okay, we
Yeah,
are there.
yep, yep, of course. And by expressing our thoughts, our ideas, that is one of the way we can do that, right? Because there are thousands or lakhs of recruiters like you and me, right? And if we are
Exactly.
not sharing our thoughts, how will people know
True.
that there is someone named called Swarupa or there is someone named called Prafulla, right?
Exactly. Right.
Great. Can you also give some of the tips to our audience, right? So, let's say someone is very new about personal branding, what he or she must do to make her personal brand uh, visible in the market,
Yeah.
and how
So
it
as
is.
I yeah. Uh, so it is like, Prafula, as I just mentioned, we really need to work on our LinkedIn profile first. We need to keep it all updated to say, and no one can do it overnight to become a content creator on a platform or something, because a lot of hesitations are there. So even
Yep.
when I do a lot of mentoring sessions nowadays, I come to understand like a lot of people are having the hesitations. They have the
Yeah, yeah,
thoughts in
yeah.
mind, but somehow they get hesitated. Okay, fine, if I put this,
What other
will
people will
people
think? Judge.
exactly. True. So it's all like learning for everyone, Prafula. So start it in a small way. I mean, first get connected with the people in the platform, the right set of people to say. So if I'm a recruiter, I should start connecting with other recruiters from different domains, different companies, and all. And whatever others are at least posting, start engaging with them. At least do some kind of comment, or do some kind of like some kind of engagement activities we can start with. And one more thing what I advise to my mentees as well during the sessions is like, whenever we connect and collaborate with the business to understand about any requisitions, we take the information about the team or the business, what the problems are they solving and everything. We can even take a small write up from them itself, and we can try to put it up on on our feed also, like, okay, this is what the business, this is what they are trying to solve, and this is the different roles they are looking for. So slowly we can definitely do it in that way, Prafulla. So
Yes.
it will definitely create a lot of difference, for
Yes.
sure.
Like, I totally agree with every point of yours. Within 1 day or 2 day, we can't do everything. It's a continuous journey, and
Yeah.
we should not think about what other people will think, right? If we think
Yeah.
about that, we can't grow, right? लोग तो बोलते ही
True.
रहेंगे, बोलने वाले कभी नहीं बोलेंगे, चाहे आप अच्छा करो बुरा करो, बोलने वाले बोलते ही रहेंगे. So,
Exactly.
so
That's
just
the
to give you an example, right? So when I started this I am recruiter community, there are few friends of mine who try to pull my leg as well, right? So because initially the videos where I was not so comfortable in camera, right? But I did. So they pull my leg and all those things. So
true, true, Prafulla. So even one of the blessing for us nowadays is like we are having even the couple of AI tools or some kind
yeah,
of different platforms. For example, like Grammarly.
yeah,
If we think like, okay, we are not so good in grammar or something like that, we can use the tool and we can definitely modify what we are trying to write and put it up in a right way. So we can utilize those things, but yeah, we really need to humanize the things. It cannot be all in a AI structured format. That is not going
that's
to
true.
work.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Great. And any kind of during your complete journey, right? So was were there any moment in your life which you felt that it was very tough for you? You were just kind of lost, and uh, and how what kind of challenges you faced at the time, and what happened, and is, is there any kind of moment when you felt that you were out of the league and all those things, right?
So, Prafula, to be very honest with you, every recruiter faces that.
Yes, yes,
in in most of our hirings, that. And one more biggest thing is like when we start building the team, when we are scaling the team from zero, all these issues comes up because we are building that teams like where it is completely new. So even the business will have like certain times they will have some kind of unrealistic
expectation.
expectations coming out of the things. Okay, in JD, for example, like ML ops, one of the role I tell you, they will have anything and everything out of it actually to say. So data science to ML to Python to operations to everything. So it is like very very difficult to find such kind of jadoo out of anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. Totally agree.
So
Totally agree.
yeah. So that's why, as I just told you, like we really need to transform ourselves as a talent advisor, where we need to go and get the insights and market intelligence out of the things, like, and showcase and demonstrate the business, like see, this is what the talent availability and talent landscape and everything looks like, and this is the realistic picture. So we can, so, and we really need to come up with some kind of solutions, like okay fine, if we are able to find out certain, like okay, 50 to 60% of the skills which is really really needed, and other skills, why can't we train them, rather than waiting for that role to get it closed, like it used to just drag for more than 90 days, 120 days, 200
Yeah,
days sometimes. So what I would recommend for anyone is like whenever there is a problem or there is a niche area like this, or there is a certain challenges like this, we need to address the business in the very beginning itself. We cannot wait for the tat to happen like 90, 120, and 200 days, then we start working on the solution. So that
yeah,
is
yeah.
not the way we can able to do it. So that is one thing, Prafula. So I have definitely come across a lot of things like that whenever I started building the team. So all this kind of different skill sets which comes with so many technologies into it. So it's like we really need to collaborate with the business, work with them, and come to a brainstorming and solutioning part of it to say, Prafula.
Okay,
So that
okay,
is what
great,
it all
great, great,
helps.
great answer.
Yeah.
And like, because when someone keep you questioning about your capability, right?
Right.
So sometimes we as a recruiter, we are also human like you and me, right? So we also try to gain our own confidence level, right? When you get lots of questions every time, sometimes there is a moment when you lose your confidence as well, right? So
Absolutely.
at that moment of time you think, are we really doing the right thing? Is it what I
Ex-
want to do? Where
True,
I
true.
want to be headed, right? So sometimes it impact our mental health as well, right?
Absolutely.
Because self-doubt definitely is not good, right? And with lots of these
Absolutely.
things, uh, we as a human being naturally it comes into picture, right? So
Exactly.
I personally have faced many situations like that. So I thought other recruiters, I wanted to check from their end as well.
Yeah, and one thing what helped me to be on the race to say, Prafula, is like connecting with other team members, connecting with different recruiters from different companies as well to say. So when we are doing the networking and everything, some people we really need to connect with them and try to understand, okay fine, if they are coming with those kind of situations, how they are handling it. Or even within our TA team itself, we should try to connect within, because nowadays what happens is like each business unit is being handled by different TA, right? So we
Yes.
really need to collaborate and understand, like okay, what different ways are working with other business, how can we do it in a way. So it is all like collaborative way, Prafula, like definitely, yeah, sometimes we get drained out, we get into self doubt, and we definitely get in a insane mode actually to say, okay, what are we doing exactly, like that. So yeah, these things probably kept me on the go and take up the right path to say, Prafulla.
Yep,
actually.
yep, yep. So the reason why I shared this thing is, if you're a recruiter and if you're facing similar kind of situation, don't worry, you are in the right path. We all have gone through those things. Just
True.
try to connect with people, meet people, ask different recruiters within the organization or outside the organization as well, because some or the other way people will try to help you. And I
Yes,
think because of that, having different communities definitely help a lot, right? Where you have a platform, you can go and ask people anything as well. But
exactly.
other sets of problem, what I see is, as a recruiters, we try to solve other people problem, but when it comes to our own problem, we
Right.
don't feel sharing as well, right? So
True,
how
true.
to break those barriers, Swarupa?
So definitely, Praful, as I just told you sometime back, nowadays we are so blessed that we are having such kind of communities in place, and we are having a lot of meetups happening, a lot of conferences happening. Definitely, it is like we really need to open up and we need to voice it out to say, so that we can understand like different perspectives from others, and we can try to understand like, okay, this also can be a solution for this kind of problems. So even if you say like in LinkedIn also, there are like certain people who writes a lot of
Yes,
posts,
yes,
whom I personally follow, to say, Prafula. So there are like few people like Paul Church, Leo
yeah,
Keaton, and even like Thibault Martin. So these people are like they are also sharing certain kind of situations with what kind of strategies we can use and everything. So these are also give us like different insights, like okay, fine. So that is how we really need to go out, connect, and we also need to voice it out, Prafula, to learn from each other.
yeah,
So, and yeah, as a recruiter we also need to support each other for sure.
yes,
So
yes, yes. That's
definitely
very much
these
important,
platforms.
I would say. Again,
True.
like when you mention about some of the other people whom you follow, I recently saw a post of Victor where he mentioned about the budget of a donkey and the business
True. He
started
is an
to.
amazing writer, I
Yes,
tell you.
yes, yes. But whatever he have mentioned, it's very much true, right? Because
It's a truth
uh,
bomb, Prafulla. Truth
yes,
bomb.
yes. And when he I read that, I couldn't stop from writing my comment over there, because I could definitely relate each and everything. And I think every organization go through the same path where they wanted to hire
Right.
a rock star, but in terms of budget wise, they don't have any budget. Great.
True. And
Okay.
one more thing, Prafulla, you must
Yeah,
have seen in LinkedIn also, like uh, for all this budget and everything, recruiters are always been targeted as if we are having the budget.
yeah, 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 yeah. And as if we are
Seriously.
not hiring the right people, right?
Exactly. So these perspectives has to be changed, and we need to really put it in a way like we are there to help people. We are
Yeah,
not the person who are putting some barricades or some kind of like hold on things actually.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think again, like definitely as a recruiter, uh, one thing which I try to learn from all the different leaders is, they always talk about asking questions, right?
Right.
In different platforms as well, right? As a recruiter community, as a TA community, we should try to keep asking lots and lots of questions in different platform, right? And once we try to do that, it's not only the TA folks will see, it's the business will also come and see some of the other things, and which will make them understand, hey, it's not the TA folks responsibility, it's an organization responsibilities, right?
True, true, Prafula. I mean, that's where I just mentioned, like, as a recruiter or a growing recruiter, we should put ourselves in the platforms. We should start like projecting our thoughts and whatever the experience we are getting into, so that it should reach out to the wider, audience, business, talent, everywhere actually. Right.
Okay. Yes, 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 Swarupa. Great. So asking a little bit some extra question as well, because we are talking about recruitment. People might feel little bit bored. They wanted to know little bit about
True.
Swarupa as well. So what you do whenever you are not recruiting, or whenever you are not hiring, or you whenever you are not related to anything hiring and recruiting you are doing, what else you love to do?
Yeah, Prafula. So I love to do a lot of like writing, as I just told you. So whatever comes into my mind, I just put up there. So in my free time, I definitely try to do that, because I'm not a person who loves to go out or travel so much or something. So I put my things into these kind of things. And yeah, definitely I do a lot of paintings as well. So those things also just keep me busy. And I have my like two cats with whom I used to spend time. I do gardening. I have like 80 different species of plants.
Oh.
So I take care of them. So these are all my different interests, to say,
So how
Prafulla.
do you manage those 80 species of plants all together? Because let's say some require less attention, some require more attention, right? So how
Yeah,
do you manage?
I slowly learned this. I learned it from my mom, to say, Prafulla, because my mom loves plants like anything. I mean, she has so many varieties. So I used to check with her, like, okay, fine. And whenever I go to my mom's place, I just pick up some plants. I'm like, okay, I will take to my own place and I will take care like that. So I slowly learned, like, okay, these plants needs everyday care. These certain plants doesn't need much of care. Certain plants need like sunlight, certain doesn't need it. So I segregated them in those ways so that I can focus in that way. Yeah, so it's really nice. Yeah,
Great, great.
that.
Uh, so, and any of the audience who love gardening, or who have anything related, gardening related questions or doubt, feel free to reach out to Swarupa. She know, she knows a lot about gardening, and as she already mentioned about like writing different articles, writing, painting and all, uh, is one of the very good way to get off of your any kind of stress or thoughts which is bothering you, right? So just to give in another example, during my MBA days I was going through some kind of problem situation and all those things, and I was not able to uh, sleep for days, nights and nights, right? So slowly I and I was not knowing that I was going through depression at that time.
My
So
God.
later when people talked about depression, when I heard that what kind of things can happen through depression,
So,
I realized that I was going through the same path at that time during the MBA days. But somehow I did overcome. And again, it's one of the things which you have mentioned, writing. I used to write lots and lots of diaries. As a boy or a man, sometimes it's difficult for us to share lots of things to our
correct.
family, friends as well. But
Yeah,
if you have a diary, you can express everything and anything, right?
absolutely, absolutely, Prafulla. That's so true.
Great, great. So, Swarupa, moving to our next question regarding AI in recruitment, right? You have seen there are chat GPTs, there are lots of different bots available, right? There are
Right.
lots of different extension available altogether. There has been communication going on in terms of why do we need databases as well, right? Uh,
True.
where we can get lots of different things from the open source as well, right? So
True.
lots of things are happening in the AI world in terms of recruitment. So what is your thought process in AI, and how much time for it will take for us to completely get evolved in terms of AI?
Very true, Prafula. I mean, nowadays everywhere it is just AI. AI is going to replace jobs. AI is getting into layoffs and all those things. But whatever may be the reason, Prafula, I mean, as we are in the recruitment industry, uh, we- for our process, human intervention is always needed, to say, no matter what. Because if you see, when you pick up when you sometimes get any call from a bank or any kind of like a process, if you feel that any AI is talking to you, definitely we won't be much interested. towards
Yeah.
that, right? We cannot relate to them, or we cannot convey like what our thoughts are actually to say. So definitely in certain areas, like AI will definitely help us. For example, like taking through the mandate mundane tasks, like what is our day-to-day task, like that, or on the emailing transactions part of it, or towards like even like transcripting like on the conversations with the recruiter and the candidate. So it can definitely make a small documentation out of it, so which
Yeah.
can a business can go through and make the decisions like that. Even it might help in some way, like collating the data and analytics part of it for recruitment process. So these are all different part of things. Like certain things it can do, but definitely wherever human intervention is needed, because in a recruitment empathy is irreplaceable, for say. So empathy is really needed for the business side as well, and also to the candidate side. So we really need to listen to them, we need to understand the pain points, we need to come up with the come up with the solutioning, brainstorming, and we really need to make things happen. So for all this strategic process and everything, definitely AI cannot take it up, Profula.
Okay. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Great, great. But again, like on the other hand, AI will definitely make our life easy, right? As a
Yes,
recruiter
true, true.
or anyone, just to give an example, right? You mentioned about Grammarly previously, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for many of the recruiters who feel that his or her grammar or communication or English writing skill is not fluent enough,
yeah,
right? So we can
true.
definitely use those kind of AI to uh, and it's a supporting actor, right? Along with you someone
Yeah,
is there,
yeah.
or it's kind of an intern who is helping.
Assistant, yeah, exactly. So they can be an intelligent assistant to say, Prafulla, but they cannot replace us. And yeah, one more factor is like a person who is able to utilize the AI tools and platforms in a right way can replace your job if you're not
Yes,
able to use.
yes,
I mean, upskill yourself. That is for
yes,
sure.
yes, yes, yes. that's
So
that's true,
that's
right?
all.
We all have to keep learning and upscaling ourselves, and if you are left behind in different technology, for example, how many of us use 1100 these days in terms of phone?
True, exactly.
Which is the first
Absolutely
phone we used to get, right? And
true,
now no
true,
one uses, because we have to keep up with the trend, right? And if we
true.
did do
Absolutely.
that, we have to forget the old things. Great.
Exactly. That's true.
So again, like I have definitely followed you. I have seen you that you write different articles. You write different things in LinkedIn as well, right? And you
Yeah.
go through different people who write different thoughts or different articles. Uh,
Yeah.
so why do you do that? So that I just wanted to understand, so that our audience might know how it is helpful for you, right?
Right, Prafula. So I can say like one thing is, Prafula. I mean, from my childhood itself, I used to love to help people. Actually, love to help my friends, even help them. On the studies, even in my engineering, like I used to help my friends to do their projects. And I don't know, like from the beginning itself, that is there in my gene. I don't know for what, how it is, but it is like, okay, fine, I have learned something. There will be somebody who is like struggling to cope up with couple of things. Maybe they are unable to get through that. So in this way, probably somebody can get that help, and they can get some kind of insights or some kind of like different perspectives, like, okay, fine, probably this is a way where it can be work out for me. So if you see, nowadays I have started writing a lot on the interview preparation part of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it is like for candidates, it's really really important to be prepared in a right way, to say. Because there will be because even as a recruiter, I have also gone through that, like after completing the technical discussions and me giving them a constructive feedback, like, okay, these are all the gaps which has happened, probably you can definitely improvise yourself on these things. So they used to come up and tell that, okay, I was like pretty strong in my technical part of it, and I didn't realize that okay, fine, communication or articulation is so very needed in my interview prospects. So these are all the different thoughts which came into my mind, like okay, fine, probably in this way I can help people, like this is what the business are actually looking for during the interview rounds, or this is the different ways you really need to get prepared and you can able to click those
Yeah.
discussions for say.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that is how I kept in my mind and I started sharing to say Prafulla. Yeah.
Definitely, very nice things you are doing, Swarupa. Again, recently in one of the podcasts, only someone mentioned, right? So your current candidate might be your future hiring managers as well,
Yes,
right? And
absolutely.
if you keep helping them by giving right constructive feedback, right, you will make a long-term relationship as well, right? And when you need their help, they will be available for you, right? Again, if not also, like you are doing something good for someone, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
what one thing I can relate with you, Swarupa, is I think if you wanted to become a good recruiter, definitely there should be a feeling of empathy for other people. What I have seen, I also love helping people, and that is one of the reason why I when I'm recruiter click me, I thought that why not? Let me give a try, right? So
True.
great. So since we are talking about I'm recruiter and we are almost on the time, so what do you think about the community? What do you think about I am recruiter, and how can we become a great community for the TA folks, and how other people can utilize I'm recruiter platform?
Sure, Prafula. I mean, definitely you have done a great kickoff to say, Prafula. I mean, you started bringing different people together. You have already done like one of the kickoff that was like really, really it went well. So it is like to say Prafulla. I mean, again, it's like we need to do the right branding to say so that people can know that okay, what I am a recruiter community is all about and what they are trying to do. So definitely certain kind of like meetups would help, like certain kind of like open discussions also will help Prafulla to at least share each other thoughts, like what exactly different people are in require of, because nowadays there are like certain ta and recruitment communities have come up actually, but
Yeah.
how differently we can be stand out from them actually to say.
Yeah,
So there will
yeah,
be certain kind of pain areas or certain kind of concerns will be there within the recruiters and ta. We can probably have an open discussion around it. We can jot down like certain pointers and try to work it on that, and we can definitely try to have like mentor mentee programs as well, which can help us to build the community. We can even share some kind of like blogs into your community page itself, so
yeah,
that will also help. And a certain kind of like a small tenure programs we can arrange, and some kind of like initiatives we can bring in where we can understand different policies, different best practices, strategies what others are using. So it can be one of the best a community growth platform and a great knowledge sharing platform it can be for sure, Prafulla. I mean, I really wish you the best to grow in this community and be a part of it.
sure. Thank you so much, Swarupa. And again, like it's not an individual effort. We all have to come together to make the community successful, right? We are just growing. We are
So
just getting started.
yes,
So we are currently looking for the core team for I'm Recruiter community, so that like the core team will categorize different things, right? Let's say we are organizing event in Hyderabad or Delhi or Bangalore. All community member can work around different things. Again, like one of the thing what I learned when I grown from a IC to a manager role is we have to delegate the team so that everyone can grow together, right?
true,
So
true,
again, like since we need to scale up I'm recruiter, we have to delegate different tasks to everyone as well.
true.
Great.
Absolutely, Prafula. I mean, it's really great to know that you are giving others also opportunity, to take up the things. They can build things from there, and you're building the core team. So it's really, excited to know that.
Great. Thanks, Swarupa, for your time. It was lovely talking to you, and I definitely tried to put some bouncers on your question, but you have hit sixes in all the questions, so nicely answered. And for all the audience, if you want to reach out to Swarupa, she is available in LinkedIn. She's quite active. She is a great mentor, like she have mentioned, right? So feel free to reach out to her. And if you want to join the TA community, which is exclusively for the TA folks, then I'm Recruiter is there for you. Feel free to join us as well. And once again, thank you all. And thank you, Swarupa. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Prafulla. Thank you for this amazing podcast and a lot of takeaways from you as well.
Thanks, Swarupa. Nice talking to you.
Sure.
Bye bye. Take
Yeah,
care.
bye.